Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 10th Side Morning Show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And today, we're going to be talking about the 10 minutes after school ritual that builds your child's focus. Now, if this is your first time of joining us, I want to personally welcome you to the show. This show, what we typically do here is that every morning by 7 a.m., I'll teach you one thing or two that could actually like help you help your child learn or anything around helping your child become smarter, become more intelligent, do excellently in school. With in time, we're going to delve more into major or main parenting focuses. But for now, we're clearing the ground on everything around how your child learns, how to build your child's focus, how to get them to do what you want to do, how to get them to love reading and do excellently in school. So if you're excited to be here today, please do not forget to subscribe and like this video. The reason for that is that you want YouTube to suggest more and more of these videos as well to you. Okay, so go ahead right now and click on that subscribe button as well as share this episode. Share it. I've not started, but share it. The reason is because you would wish you do it. Because there are other people who are somewhere who desperately need the lessons that we share here, who will thank you for sharing such amazing insights on an amazing channel, on an amazing lesson with them free of charge. So go ahead right now and share this. Now you can also tell me, let me see our faithful, the ones who are here. Um I want to see exactly how many are here so that we can begin. Okay. So welcome everyone. Welcome. How are you guys doing today? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Welcome. Great to see. If you're here, let me know now. Let me know in the chats, okay? Let me know in the chats. Good morning, Mr. Fayinwa. How are you doing today? We'll give you a award though. Most consistent community member. All right. Okay. And so let me start with this, okay? So it's 3:15. Your child is at the gate, right? Your child is at the gate, and in the next few minutes, they walk through the front door. And what happens in the next 10 minutes is what determines how the rest of your evening goes. Now, if those 10 minutes are chaotic, the rest of the evening is chaotic. And that determines everything in terms of what happens if your children are calm and intentional, or rather if that first 10 minutes are calm and intentional, then the whole evening flows better. Homework gets done faster, there's less resistance, bedtime is smoother. Now most parents, they don't think about this moment because guess what, they are busy, they are distracted, they are trying to catch up with their own stuff. And so the child walks in, maybe dumps their backpack on the floor, maybe fights with a sibling, maybe you ask them about school and they're like, oh, how was school today? Fine. And then you're surprised when homework time is a nightmare. Okay? So what if there was one ritual that took 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, and completely changed how your evening unfolded after your kids are back from school? The reason I'm saying this is because I think school just started, right? For most people, I think school just resumed from the Easter break. There are some that are still on holiday, oh, right? But today I'm going to give you that ritual. You do this every 10 minutes, immediately your child is back, and you're going to see incredible changes, right? You're going to see incredible changes. Let me explain what this moment is called. It's called the transition moment. The transition moment. All right. You see, your child has been in school for 6 hours. 6 hours. They've been managing their behavior, managing their emotions, managing their social interactions. managing their academic demands. They've been on the entire time. So when they walk through that door, they need to transition. Not physically transition, mentally, emotionally. Their nervous system needs to shift from school mode to home mode. And most children, they don't know how to do this on their own. They don't know how to do this on their own. So they need help. And the funny thing is that if you ignore this transition and you jump straight into something else, maybe like homework or screens or correction about the way they walked in, or oh, why didn't you go and wash your plate or go and wash your this thing? If you jump into it like that, then they don't make that shift because they are still in school mode, they are still wound up, and everything that follows is much harder. Okay? Everything that follows is much harder. So the first thing your child needs is to dump everything that's in their head. We call it the brain dump. So everything from the school day, all the social stuff, all the academic stuff, the conflicts, the wins, the worry. This is called a brain dump. And it's not just talking, it's talking without judgment or correction. Do you know that a lot of children are so scared to share with their parents because they are afraid of being judged? They are afraid of being judged. They are afraid of being shouted at. They are afraid of being corrected. They are afraid of being corrected. Right? It's talking without judgment. So your child walks in, and the first thing you do is, "Hey, how was your day? Tell me what happened." And then you listen. Right? You're not just saying it just because. You're saying it and you actually mean it. So you're not trying to correct. You don't say, wait, you did that wrong, or you spelled that wrong, or you said that wrong. You don't give advice. You just what? You listen. Because the point is not to fix anything. The point is to let the child externalize everything so they're not carrying it anymore. In my book, Homeschooling Secrets, I mentioned that the first thing is what we call digging deep. You can't dig deep if your child already knows that you are not listening or that you are looking to correct. Digging deep becomes impossible. It becomes impossible. So you want your child to feel that you are actually listening to them. And you're not just listening to correct or to reply. You want them, I mean, if you have somebody who you could just, we all, like as adults now, when life is showing you shaggy, you have somebody you want to call, somebody you can call, and then you can tell the person, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm going through. And then the person will be like, will not say a word, will just keep quiet. We know how therapeutic it is. That's what I expect you to be for your child. As I expect you to be for your child. Okay? So here's the whole ritual. Let's talk about it. It takes 10 minutes. So in the first 3 minutes, you give them a snack to fuel their brain. Because trust me, your child is definitely hungry after school. So their blood sugar is low. Feed them. It could be a fruit, some bread and jam, or nuts, real food. And while they are eating, you are present. You are present in that moment. And the next 4 minutes, then you talk. This is the brain dump time. This is how was your day, what happened. Just listen. Just listen to the gist. Enjoy the gist now. Just listen. No corrections, no advice. Just I do this a lot. I do this a lot. I know that it works. Just wow, interesting. Tell me more. Wow, really? No corrections, no advice. Okay? Let them get it all out. Let them get it all out. Let them get it all out. And then in the last 3 minutes, then you breathe. It's basically to breathe. So you just sit down together and do some deep breaths. You could do this, or you could go for a quick walk around the block. It could be like, walking around. Or you stretch. Something that basically calms the nervous system. This signals to their body that school time is over and home time is here. This is the 10 minutes. Now, nearly after this is done, that's when you now kickstart the actual rest. Because I am of the school of thought that the moment the child is back from school, before anything, maybe before homework, they should have at least 30 to an hour of complete rest. And if you make this a schedule, some of you will be like, my child will always want to run up and down. Blah, 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 blah." The thing is, you've not actually made it a schedule. You are still doing it today and doing it and not doing it tomorrow. If you make it a routine and make it a schedule at home, you will see your child actually begin to do that. It will become a habit that everybody in the house is following. It will become a habit that everybody in the house is following. Right? So you can see 10 minutes, 3 minutes, three parts, snack, talk, and then relaxation that actually kicks in into the into the whole day. So let me show you why this changes homework. Because 35% of children who decompress after school show better focus during homework. It is not rocket science. If you sleep well, there are sometimes I even me, I want to work, but my brain is foggy, I'm so exhausted. I just go and crash. And immediately I'm up, boom, I'm energized. I come back to it and I do it with renewed optimism, renewed everything. So you really want to trigger such feelings in your child. You want to trigger such feelings in your child. You want to um actually help them to see and help them to be like that as well. So after your child is regulated, right? After your child is regulated, fed, head, calm. Now when you ask about homework, they're in a different headspace. Compare that to a child who comes home and immediately hears, how much homework do you have? Or get a snack, let's do your homework now. I'm going out later. That child is still dysregulated. They're still in school. They're going to resist. But the child who has had 10 minutes to transition, they can do homework, they have the capacity. So the problem is that you typically go from straight from school into homework or screens. But no, throw in that 10 minutes transition, they're going to rest them before homework. This is the key. This is the key. Okay? There's a mom with a 9-year-old who would come home and within 15 minutes it will be a battle. The child will be difficult, resistant, emotional. The mom said something. She says that the only time that she sees the good out of her son is when they are on holidays. Why? Because this was her day every day. The child would be difficult, resistant, emotional. And the mom was frustrated because she was trying so hard and nothing was working. So when I shared this transition moment, she decided to try it. The first day, it was weird though, because the child was confused by the change. He was like, who is this woman? What's she trying to do? Right? Second day, the child still resisted homework a bit, but less. And by the end of the first week, something had shifted. 2 weeks in, the mom told me something amazing. Her child was coming home, they would do the snack and talk and breathe routine. And then the child said, can I do my homework now? Unprompted. The child was asking to do homework because they were regulated enough to have capacity. That's the power of this ritual. Let me check a question. Can we do this through the phone while we are still at work, or we need to do it when we are back from work? And you have to do it physically, 100%. You have to do it physically, 100%. And the thing of having to live and work, it has kind of like dysregulated a lot of stuff. And I understand it maybe in terms of timing. Maybe you're not the one that actually enforce that. Now, even if you are not the person that enforces, there should be somebody who enforces that. There should be someone that enforces that. So even if you're not the person, if you have maybe a help or something, somebody should enforce that. right? And it's not a you must do it type of thing, it's a let's do this together type of thing, right? And then even when you are not there, you want to ensure that this happens. How do you handle a child that doesn't like to take siesta? I mean, it's very simple. The reason your child doesn't like to take siesta is because you try to force them to take siesta. The idea is to build a routine around that. So when you build, the thing about structure is that structure is law. You know, do I like to wake up in the morning? No. Do I like to wake up in the morning? No. I don't like to wake up early, very early in the morning. Am I waking up early in the morning now to come and do this training? Yes. Why? Because I've set it as a structure. So that's the same way, right? If you create it as structure, it doesn't matter. Once it's time for this is what has to happen. I'm going to teach you guys more about this, because when you understand how structure works, structure is the thing that gets your child to do the things that you want them to do, even in your absence. And like I said, if you have a focus on sleep, you won't get the best out of it. However, if you focus on rest, rest culminates and transitions to sleep. A child who has been burnt out all day, and they have their meal, or then they have your transition period, and then they go straight to rest. During that rest, now all they need to do is just to maybe lay on their bed, chicken. And then there are, of course, what makes structure work is the rules and consequences, right? So when those rules and consequences are very obvious, when they are very obvious, then you can now use them. You can now use them as an effect to actually ensure that they do the thing that they're supposed to do. Okay, right? And then obviously, when the child faces the consequences once or twice, boom, behavior change. They won't try that again because the consequences are very dear. All right. So that's the thing about structure. Is it 30 minutes includes watching TV? No, no TV, no screens. I like to use TV or screens as a reward for doing actual work, right? So let's say you do all of this and you study for 20 or 30 minutes, then you can have TV for 30 minutes. TV should not be an unmerited privilege in your house. It shouldn't be an unmerited privilege in your home. It should be something that they work for. You guys will learn a lot, especially around this structure thing. Because when you understand it, you can now, because the problem with watching TV is that you watch TV, but you've not actually merited it. But if your children, if they actually did earn it, you will not have a problem with them watching TV. So that's it. That's the hack. That's the hack. Okay. So now this is our recap of week 3. In this week 3, we talked about mornings. We talked about how a 3-block structure transform chaos into calm, screens, and the framework that eliminates the battles without being harsh, the homework fight, and how environment matters, learning spaces, and why physical setup affects focus. And then today we talked about the one ritual that changes your whole evening. So this week was all about structure and the environment and those moments that shape how your child's day goes, because your child doesn't learn in a vacuum. They learn in a home, in an environment that you create, in systems you set up, right? In the systems you set up. And when these systems are right, learning becomes easier. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you be interested in learning exactly step by step how to create this structure in your home? Just let me in the chat. Tell me in the chat, would you be interested in learning step by step exactly how to create structure? Because structure is the thing that enables focus, structure is the thing that enables predictability, structure is the thing that makes your child love reading even when you are not there. Structure is the thing that helps you run your home even when you are not there, and you are able to get out all the outcomes that you want. So tell me in the chat, is this something that you are interested in? Is this something that you're interested in? Type yes in the chat right now. Type yes in the chat. So if this few weeks has resonated with you, make sure you subscribe and share this channel. Tell another parent about the 10 Sign Morning Show. One parent. That's how we grow. I mean, when we started with like 5 people, 6 people. Today we averagely get about 12, 15, 20 on the live. Let's tell more people. Let's share the word. That is how we grow. And I promise you, from tomorrow, we are going even deeper. We're going deeper on the focus and the foundations that matter. So, congratulations on staying to the end. If this helped you, then make sure you share this stream with your loved ones. By I think tomorrow we're going to definitely be talking about why your child cannot sit still. Are you excited about that? Tomorrow we're going to be talking about why your child can't sit still. So do not go anywhere. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same station. Cheers and have a great day.